Dudes saying they got their passport and they about to go overseas to find their wife, and you see they have the initials SYSBM in their bio, which is short for Save Yourself Black Man. Those dudes are tricks. These dudes have a firm understanding that they're so socially awkward and so socially inept that they need to pay to have access to coochie. Thing is, they're so broke that they can't afford the cost of women, sex workers here in the United States. So these dudes with warehouse jobs, these the type of Negroes that work on the line up there in Detroit in the car plants, they take their little 35, 40K overseas because it stretches longer.
Talking about how they are sick of women in America and how they're going to get their passports and go overseas and find them a wife. When the truth of the matter is, you don't want a wife. You want a slave. You want a maid. You want a personal assistant. These women are in dire financial need. And it sickens me that you get online and vocalize and brag about getting your passports and going to these countries with these to get a wife who needs a green card to escape extreme poverty. Whether you pay her family, whether you pay her, no matter what the circumstance is, she is in a dire situation. How dare you capitalize off of the fact that this woman just wants to live and thrive financially. And then you call it a marriage. That's not marriage. It's modern day slavery, and I think that it's sick. I think that it's disgusting, and all you're really doing is sifting yourself from the real divine masculines and alpha males. Because when they walk in the room, we know it. You know why? Because we feel safe. And we're not safe with you. And we know it, and that's why we're disrespectful to you. That's why we don't like you, and that's why we don't give a damn that you're going to another country to find a wife. And while you're there, get the help you need to heal your inner child, because we know that you're unhealed, that you are narcissistic, and that you're a toxic person. So while you're spending your money on your new bride, be sure to get the help that you need to. We ain't mad. We don't want you. We see you. You're not a divine masculine. We ain't mad.
And I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.
Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share this episode. And we're going to do like we always do, man. We're going to talk that talk. And we're going to go out and make it happen. You know? That's what we are. That's what we do out here. You know? What the hell is that? Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. You know, every time I get online, I usually get some type of weird message from time to time. I don't really know. I why it works out that way, but it's all good, you know. But hey, check this out. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, man. Before I forget, you know, because people have been telling me I should do this more often, but I don't, you know. But hey, go let's see. Of course, this is my channel. So I go to check out the check out the gear. You know, this is the merch. This is actually my favorite. Let me see. Click on that. This is my favorite. One of them anyway. But actually the yeah. Why did that happen like that? That's weird. It's actually one of my favorites. God is great, but respect is better. Sweatshirt. You know, this is pretty cool. I got this done like, how long has it been? Last summer? Yeah, last summer. I got this done. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, of course, I like the other designs, but this is like one of my favorites. You know, I can actually admit to it. Yeah, this is like one of my favorites. You know, so check it out. If you go to my YouTube tab and click on the store tab, that's how you get to that, basically. You know, but this is definitely that's one of my favorites. You know, and don't forget to check out my Patreon. You know, don't forget to check out my Patreon. You know, that's the Mickey Royal boss player. You know, legendary boss player, Mickey Royal. It's a 2-hour interview. Shit, I had to end that. At the end of the interview, I was so tired. He kept going on and on and on. And he wrote a couple of books, like 7 books. The Pimp Game. This is like part 2. And Along for the Ride, and like 7 of these damn books, you know. So yeah, he's a good writer. He's a good writer, you know. I can't front. I got to give props, you know. But, you know, can I see it in pink? What? What? Oh, hey, Donna. Can I see it in pink? Can I see what in pink? What do you want to see in pink? Oh, you mean the designs? That's a good question. Let me see. I think I might have. I'm not sure if I picked that color or not. I'm gonna go look at it, cause I don't remember if it's in pink or not. I'm gonna look at it. Let's see. Yeah. Well, it don't look that. That's pink. You like that, Donna? That's kind of light. I mean, it's available, but that's kind of light. You know, I don't know. You like that, Donna? You like that? That's kind of light. If this is one you're talking about, that's kind of light for pink. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. You like it? Oh, okay. If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it, Donna. But you know, so if you go to my YouTube channel and click on the store tab, that's where you find it. You know, that's where you find it. If you go to my YouTube channel and click on the store tab, that's where you're gonna find it. You know. So, and don't forget about my Patreon as well. So that's about it when it comes to that. You know, you love pink. Okay. Hey, don't let me stop you. Okay. You know. Yeah, but so this topic was brought to me by somebody that's been following me for a long time. And I did a video last week kind of talking about you know, women that belong to the streets. And the reason why I did is because some of my best lessons, some things that I've learned outside of the norm have come from women that were, you know, they were out in them streets. They were strip clubs and strip club or escort or, you know, from pimps. You know, I've learned a lot from a lot of these people. Look, you can learn something from anybody. You can learn something from a dope fiend. You can learn something from anybody, man. You don't have to be polished. The person don't have to be polished and dressed nice for you to learn something from somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've learned over the years. You know, let me say, Donna's I'm very feminine, so I wear a lot of pink. Yeah, I know, Donna. I know. I have a pretty good idea what type of woman you are. And that's great. You know, we need a variety, you know. See, I grew up, I saw both the best of women and the worst of women. So that's why I'm balanced. You know, that's how I grew up. You know, I saw it as through my 20s, through my teens. You know, I saw, you know, especially when I went in the Navy. I mean, I seen some of the things that happens to a lot of women, and some of it's not fair. Hey, life ain't fair, man. Some of it's some people been dealt a bad hand in life, and some people those are the cards that they were dealt. You know what I'm saying? It happens that way. Some people were raised by their parents were fucked up, you know, or the family were unstable. Some people, you know, we can't pick our parents, unfortunately. So some people were dealt a bad hand. Some people were abused by the parents or the relatives, and they just grew up and they kind of spent out of control. They rebelled. Then they miss a couple of hugs. And then they find themselves in certain positions as they get older. And some people figure it out, some people don't. You know? Like, and I've met some of these people along the way. Because I found myself in certain places that I really shouldn't have been. You know, because I used to like to party a lot. I used to like going to the clubs everywhere, like all over America, basically. If I went to a new town, especially someplace I've never been before, I'm going to the best club in that town. That's how I do it. I'm going to the best club, best restaurant in that town or in that city. That's how I used to do it. You know, and this is not like through my 20s and 30s. You know, now I don't get out as much as I used to because I kind of let that club go. The nightlife, I kind of let that go. You know, because you can't keep living that life. You won't live long if you keep living that street life. And I've seen people die early because they want to keep it going. I'm like, no, bro, you better sit your ass down. You can't keep ripping and running them damn streets. Nah, you ain't what you used to be now. I know you think you still got it, but you still ain't what you used to be. You know, I don't know. I know people that, you know, they got to learn the hard way. You know, some got sick, some died. You know, but one of the best lessons or best places, I should say, best places you could, at least where I learned a lot, where you see the best and the worst of women is in the strip club. Yeah, in that damn strip club. And a woman that's an escort, that type of shit. And the reason why I say this because being in the strip club is kind of like a fantasy. It's like you see the best of the best and the worst of the worst in that world. I mean, it's like a whole different world, you know, out here that most guys never have been around a stone cold hoe. Most guys have never been around a woman like that. I'm not talking about a wannabe gold digger. No. I'm talking about a woman that all she hang around is guys with money. That's it. All she hang around is athletes, entertainers, ball players, seven-figure businessmen. That's all she hang around. She don't hang around. If she hang around somebody like me, I ain't rich. You know, so if she hang around a guy like me, it's because she really likes me. And that's how it was. It's still like that. I still know them. You know, I still know these. It's only two women. One of them I don't talk to no more. But one of these women said some shit and I never forgot. She said, I fuck with you. No. She said, I fuck with them because I got to. I fuck with you because I want to. That's what she told me, man. That's what one of them told me, man. I never forgot that. Because I never had nobody was so cold with it like that. You know? And the funny thing is, I never had to spend a dime when I was around her. Never had to spend a dime. If it was my birthday, shit, that motherfucker roll out the red carpet for me. Whatever I wanted, it's on her, bro. That's how it was with her. And she was a stone cold hoe. And she wasn't ashamed of it at all. Not at all. You know? And she used to get money out of these dudes. Ball players. Some of these guys were business owners. Some of them were, most of them were married. Some used to go to the strip club. That's what she met. Some of them met. You know what I'm saying? Yes, smash the like button. Smash the like button. If you like this fire I'm kicking. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she wasn't no shame in her game. And I had to respect that, man. I had to respect that. For real. Because you don't meet women like that as cold with it like that. And she was nice. She wasn't masculine. She wasn't trying to act like a man. No. Wasn't like today. Women act like, a lot of women today act like men. She wasn't like that. If you was to see her, you probably think she's just an average chick. She wasn't no beauty queen. She was a what? A 7? Small fry. You know, she was regular. Well, she had a lot of personality though. A lot of personality, you know. But she was a hoe. You know. Now today she's old now. She's about what? 60? Damn, yeah, she's about 60 now. Well, she's old now. So she ain't really out there like that no more. Because she can't. She's smart enough to know better. You know. But every guy should experience being around a woman like that one time. Because you're going to see the best and the worst. And plus, what type of guys, most of these guys, weirdos, freaks, degenerates, they like doing all this weirdo, freaky shit that the wife won't do or the living girlfriend won't do. So that's where the strippers and these hoes come in at. I mean, because a lot of these dudes like doing weirdo shit. Like taking dildos from the back and all this. You know, that's weird shit, man. I mean, your wife ain't gonna do no. Well, maybe some wives will. But the majority be like, you want me to do what? The majority of wives, you want me to do what? What a dildo? Are you on drugs? You know? So yeah, man, it's different. It's a different world out here, man. That's where a lot of these subgroups come from. You got the swingers and these websites that's popping up online all the time. Because they're pandering and catering towards these subgroups of people. Some of them single, some of them married. You know? But at the end of the day, if you're the right type of, let me tell you what I learned. At the end of the day, whether she's a hoe or not, Mother Nature usually takes over if you're the right type of guy. You're the right type of guy, ain't gonna have to jump through them hoops and the hoe ain't gonna try to charge you for no sex. I ain't never paid. I ain't never pulled no money out of my pocket. She know I ain't had no money. Anyway, I just got out of the military. Don't make no money in the military. Come on, man. I ain't had no money. That's how it was. That's how it is. You know? And her friend was a nurse from Toronto, Canada at the time. She was married, she was engaged to this basketball player for the Charlotte, well, it used to be Charlotte Hornets at the time. And I forgot the dude's name, man. If I could tell you his name, you probably would know who I'm talking about. I don't follow basketball like that. But he was a well-known player. A good player too at the time. But I can't remember who he was. That's who she was engaged to. And come to find out, she broke the engagement off because he got traded. And she didn't want to leave North Carolina because she was a nurse in Raleigh. And I think he was being traded to Texas, someplace like that. She wasn't feeling that. So they ended up breaking that shit off. And that's the last time I seen her friend. But her friend, oh man, she was cold. Beautiful girl. I wish I had a picture of her. You know, I wish I had a picture of her. Beautiful girl. I said, damn. You know, but she was about her money. Yeah. I think she came from a family that were kind of well off in Canada. So I think they kind of spoiled her a little bit. But if you didn't have no money and she didn't like you, she wasn't fucking with you. Now, like I said, they both liked me. So they wasn't really sweating. They wasn't really sweating for no money like that when they was around me. You know? But that's how it was, man. So I saw how they operated behind the scenes and how they think. I used to listen to them talk. They used to tell me some of the shit they used to do with these guys. Basketball players. They used to tell me some of the shit they used to do with these dudes, man. So I'm just listening. I'm like, God damn. Y'all some cold motherfuckers, boy. I'm glad we friends. We can't. I didn't even necessarily call them friends, but I'm glad we ain't got nothing serious. I was smart enough not to even take it there with them. I knew better. Now, I'm young. I'm 24, 25 at the time. But even before I turned 25, I went to college. And I was like 19 at the time when I went to college. So I've been around athletes. And I used to see some of the shit they used to do with the women. They used to, They do all kind of shit. Run, train, all kind of shit with the women at the football team. So I kind of, I had a little bit of experience. I've seen some shit, you know, before I went in the Navy. But when I went in the Navy, shit just went in a whole nother level, man. You know what I'm saying? And not so much because I was overseas either. And then here's another thing. Now, a lot of people online say, oh, y'all going overseas with them hoes. Look, these are the biggest hoes in America. The biggest I ever seen. No, let me tell you something. The women overseas, if I'm going overseas just for hoes, I'll just stay here in North America. Women overseas ain't got nothing compared to being in North America. Oh, no. 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 that's a myth or kind of misconception. Most of these places that I've been, and I've traveled all around the world, by the way, most of these places I've been overseas, most of these places are kind of conservative, bro. They promote it one way, but when you get there, you be like, hey, they ain't really got no nightlife like that here. Not really. And they had a nice club, but bro, I lived in Atlanta for 10 years. Oh, this ain't nothing. You know, it's kind of like they promote Las Vegas like that too. Now, Las Vegas is probably the most overhyped city in America. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the nightlife in Vegas ain't got shit on Atlanta. I'm like, this is what y'all been coming here all these years for? You better off going to Atlanta if you want to party. This ain't shit in Vegas. Come on, man. What we doing? What we talking about? So they do the same thing overseas. They promote Thailand as this. The nightlife is okay, but it's all right. It's just got a bunch of bars down the strip. 3-4 clubs that's decent. That's it. That ain't shit. You can go to Miami and do better than that. I mean, come on, man. If you go to someplace like Atlanta, they got more clubs than I know of to go 7 days a week. Daytime and nighttime. There's places to go in Atlanta. It ain't like that in Vegas. No, it's not like that in these other places that I've been overseas. Especially overseas, they're not partying like that. They're not partying like that. That's probably the closest place I've seen with a nightlife that's equivalent to being here in North America. Maybe Tokyo, Japan. But even that today, that ain't the same no more. It ain't the same no more. They done shut a lot of that shit down. So that ain't the same no more. Things have changed. You know? Yeah, things have changed. I think it's changed a little bit everywhere. You know? And even, this is Sydney, Australia. Sydney, Australia is all right. But it ain't like being over here. It ain't like Miami. It ain't like Atlanta. Hell, it ain't like Charlotte. As far as the nightlife go, if that's what you're going there for, if you're going to party, hey, you say, well, there's some nice people there. Yeah, there's some nice people there. But just keep in mind, any tourist area, it's going to be some bullshit going on. Robbing, stealing, jacking, pill popping, putting the shit in drinks, drugging. It's always going to be like that in the tourist areas now. Just keep that in mind. Because I hear a lot of people online talking about, they'll put shit in your drink in Colombia, or they'll spray some shit in your face. Man, that shit's old school, bro. That ain't nothing new. People been putting shit in people's drinks before I was born, and before you were born. That ain't nothing new. That's old school. They just starting to catch up on the fuckery. That's all. But if you don't drink, you don't got to worry about that type of shit. Why are you worrying about something that don't pertain to you? You don't drink. Why are you worrying about something like that? I used to drink. I don't drink no more. So I don't got to worry about nobody putting anything in my drink. And even when I did drink, I always kept my drink with me. I don't leave my drink on the table and go to the restroom. Hell no. I'm not drinking that unless somebody's around that I trust. But these dudes, I don't know what they be thinking about. They'll invite some girl to the hotel room that they just met, put their wallet with their money on the dresser, go to the bathroom, take a shower, and she know the girl gonna rob you 9 times out of 10. And then you gonna come back, you gonna make a video talking about how you got robbed. You deserve to get robbed. That was stupid. It was stupid if you leave your money laying around, leave your wallet laying around with a stranger, somebody you don't even know. You deserve to get robbed. That was stupid for you to do something like that. You know, I'll rob you too. Shit. I'll rob you too. You leave money all over the place. And you got some of these women online, you know, that's talking that talk. I don't know why guys even listen to these women. They hoes too. They hoes too. The girls that doing all the talking, you think they're outstanding women with good morals, talking shit about us and whatever else they're talking about. They hoes. And you know what else is crazy? Well, it's not really crazy. Some guys marry hoes. Yeah. Some guys marry hoes. Now, some people will say, hey, man, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Well, I don't know about that. I don't necessarily, that's not always true. You can make a hoe into a housewife. Just depends on what type of guy you are. If you a dope boy or one of them PIs, or maybe it used to be a PI back in the day, they're married the last hoe that they had. You know, so it just depends on what type of guy you are. Now, I always look at it like this. I don't have enough experience to marry a hoe. That's how I looked at it when I was in my 20s. I can't handle being with this bitch. And this is a different way of thinking for a lot of people. I get it, but it was a different way of thinking for me too. I'm in my 20s. I'm inexperienced. I ain't never been in this world. You know, I'm coming from a square world. I'm from a household where my mom and dad were together, and my grandparents were together on both sides. So this is a new world, a new way of thinking and looking at things for me at the time. You know, but it exists, and these type of people, you work with some of these hoes. They got jobs now, good jobs. You know, they'll work the hell out of these jobs. See, a lot of times as guys, we don't know who we looking at. We just think, oh, it's just another woman. No, it ain't just another woman. There's certain types of females. And I can tell who's who by the words they use sometimes, how they speak, how they talk, how they carry themselves. There's certain types of females in the world, and I can decipher who's who sometimes within seconds. Even online, I can tell who's who. I know. I can tell some women, they have good intentions, but they might have made a couple bad moves along the way, and a lot of times that's why they find themselves in certain situations, because they just didn't know. They just didn't know, had bad info, bad information. They've been misled. It happens. It happens, man. There's some women that follow me, like Donna. I think Donna's a cool woman. I never met her before, never talked to her before, but I can just kind of tell over time, she'll come on here from time to time. She seems like a cool woman, and then you have some other women that come on here every once in a while. They're not so cool. But I can tell who's who. And a lot of this has to do with, of course, my experience and, just living long enough and just going through different trial and error or whatever, But I think every guy should hang out. Well, not necessarily hang out, but every guy should have an experience with a woman that we always say, quote, quote, belong to the streets. Not a woman that's perpetrating. I'm talking about a woman that's a stone cold hoe. She's around money. She's around guys that got it. And she's getting money out these guys. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to see a live experience of what how to attract a man, the strip club is the best place. The strip club, you got these strippers in the strip club. They know how to exactly they know how to get a guy's attention in the strip club. I mean, that's probably the truest definition of I'm gonna play like I like you. At the essence in the strip club. It don't get no better than that. No, not in the strip. And in the strip club, you got a lot of weirdos, freaks, and degenerates in there. They in all kind of weird shit. And you got the best of the best and the worst of the worst. Men and women. And there's no in between. There's no in between. There's no guy or no gal. He all right. No. No. Either he's horrible or great or good. Or either she's horrible or good or great. There's no in between in that environment. No. Not in that environment. You can't look in that environment. That's like the devil's playground. You can't come out of that. No woman comes out of that clean, unscathed. Something's going to be wrong with her if she makes it out of that life. I've never seen it. That's the devil's playground. Even they gotta, because they done been through so much. Even if they make it out and get into something else, the drugs, alcohol abuse. No. You know, that's why like the dope boys, strippers, they're perfect for each other. Perfect. It's a perfect match. And I also believe that a lot of them women in that life, they're a perfect match for a lot of these married guys that have not so good marriages. Because, and the reason why I say that is because if you took away the strip club, and let's say the hoes vanish, wasn't no more hoes no more. Man, these guys would beat the hell out of their wives. I mean, they already beat them up already, but it would be 10 times worse. Because a lot of these guys won't have no place to let off that steam and stress from work and the problems and whatever is going on at home. They beat the hell out of them damn women. I mean, you're already doing it anyway, boy. It'd be way worse. And the divorce, you think the divorce rate is high now. We saw what happened during COVID when everything shut down. We saw what happened. We saw the divorce rate spiked. Think about if it was like that 10 years, 10, 20 years. Shit. It'd be hell in this damn country. You think it was crazy out in them streets then with the violence? Shit. If that lasted for 10 years, well, it'd be chaos out in these streets. You better have you a gun. For real. It would go back. The violence would be so bad, it would go back how it was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s in this country. Where it was like dangerous to be walking. I mean, it's dangerous to be driving if you had a car. But if just walking the streets, that was like a death sentence here in North America in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. That's like a death sentence as a street walker. And women, it wasn't even safe for a woman to be by themselves. Daytime or nighttime. Especially where I'm from, I'm South Carolina. Jim Crow, South Carolina, shit. Women didn't, if you talk to your grandmother, women didn't go places like that. In the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s. Women didn't really travel. They didn't leave, not without their man. That was a different time. Hell, most guys, when they left the house, some of them didn't make it back. That's what happened to my grandfather. On my dad's side, he left the house, didn't make it back. And back in them days, if the man left the house and didn't make it back, everybody knew what time it was. Which is the main reason why they would, if the man would leave the house, they would kind of plan, say, hey, if I don't make it back, this is what you should do. This is what you got to do. Especially if they was like long distance. And especially if he was by himself. I mean, even if you had a buddy with you, it was still risky. It was still risky. They didn't have highways like they do now. They had dirt roads. And everybody didn't have a car. They had horses. For the most part. That's a different time back then. Only the strong survived back then. And you know what? The same shit that was going on with women back then was going on today. They had hoes back then too. They had white hoes, black hoes. They had them back then too. My grandfather told me about it. Yep. They had side chicks back then. She was on the other side of town though. Or the next town over. Something like that. Yeah. Yep. So ain't that the shit you see today? There's always been degenerates and weirdos and freaks. You know, the only difference today is people talk about it like it's cool or some shit like that. Like it's no shame. The shame, it's a little bit of shame, but it ain't a lot left. People aren't. It's hard to shame people today. Like I give you an example, something that, like when my grandfather was growing up, they didn't go down on no woman. They didn't go down on no woman. I'm gonna eat her out. They didn't do no shit like that. That's some weirdo shit, bro. That's that a lot of that shit came from the white guys. Playboy magazine and all. That's where a lot of that shit came from. Yeah, my grandfather, they didn't go down on no woman. I'm like, what? Slap the shit out of you. My grandfather I tell you, if my grandfather could come back today, come back to life, and he'd slap the hell out of me. That's who I grew up around, though. That's who I grew up around. There was some tough guys back then, man. And grandma knew that grandpa was smashing another woman from time to time. I come with the territory, bro. What are we talking about? Today, what women want? They want the guy to look good. They want the guy to look better than them. What type of shit is that? That's some weirdo shit, man. The guys didn't have to. Yeah, they dress good. Guys always dress good, but today women want the guys to be pretty boys. That's some weirdo shit, man. My grandfather didn't talk like that. They didn't act like that. Of course they dress good because that's how they want to dress. But they ain't doing it for a woman. Nah, that's some weirdo shit. The only guys that used to kind of dress to catch women back in the day were pimps. But the average guy didn't dress like that for no woman. No. He didn't get married to no man because he looked good. Hell no. It was about survival. Ask your grandpa, if he's still living, how it was when he was growing up. It ain't going on no damn dates. Nobody had time for that shit. What restaurant you gonna go to? There wasn't a lot of restaurants back then. And it wasn't safe for you to go anyway. In most cases, well, I mean, if you were a well-known guy, okay, that's a little different. But if you were from where I'm from, it wasn't safe to go to no restaurant. Even if it was open. And if it was open, it wasn't serving you anyway. So nobody was going on no damn dates. No. People knew each other's family. And somebody made an introduction. My buddy, your buddy said, hey, I got a girl for you. I got a girl I want you to meet. I'll introduce y'all. And if that goes well, then you meet the dad. Eventually. And when you meet the dad, this is going to be a make or break moment. He's going to ask you, what do you have? What kind of plans you have for my daughter? Basically, that's what's going to come down to. And depending on how you respond, he would be like, okay, you have my blessing. You know, if you respond the way he would like. If not, get up out of here. Get out of my house before I blow your fucking head off. That's how it was. Now, that's hard for a lot of guys to think. That sounds a little harsh, right? That's how it was back in the day. That's how it was. And some of y'all had grandfathers that were like that. Some of y'all had grandfathers that were tough like that, talk like that. But today, what y'all say? Oh, it's toxic. It's toxic masculinity. Man, get out of here. I grew up, that's called being a man. You know? Today, what a lot of guys say today? It ain't worth it. Well, damn, something got to be worth it. What is worth it? It ain't worth it. Guys today, a lot of guys today, they don't have no fight. They don't fight for anything. They don't stand for anything. And they'll look at one guy and they'll be like, "Hey, he got by some hoe, basically. He on child support, alimony, whatever. He couldn't handle the hoe. That's all it was. You know, he didn't know what he probably did know what he got married to. He just couldn't handle it. Right? So he'll look at his situation, his buddy, or some random guy on the street or something like that, and be like, "Hey, I don't want that to happen to me." I'm like, you ain't got no bitch anyway, so it ain't gonna happen to you, and you ain't got no money, so you ain't got nothing to lose. You ain't got no money, so what the hell are you worrying about? I mean, I like, hey, you rich? No. So what the hell are you worrying about? What the hell is she gonna take from you? You ain't got no money. She gonna put me on child support. How much is child support, bro? $200 a month, $300. You can't pay $200 a month, bro. You can't pay $100 a month. You worried about somebody alimony that's what? $100? Come on, bro. You ain't got nothing to lose. You ain't rich. I mean, if you're rich, okay, that's a different story. That's a different story, you know. But if you work your 9-to-5 job, 40 hours a week, what the hell we talking about? You're not in a position for a woman to take anything away from you. You're like, oh, you're gonna take my car? Well, get another car, bro. I done had a bunch of cars since I've been living. I'll get another one tomorrow if I have to. With no money down. What are we talking about here? Some of these dudes are just as delusional as women. I'm telling you. I mean, some of the shit they be saying, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? You act like you got some money, like hidden away in the sack in your account or something like that. You make what? $20 an hour, if that, on your job, and you think you're doing well, and you think you got some money. I hate to break it to you. If you make $15, $20 an hour on your job, that ain't no real money. I know. You've been working the job for a long time. You like the job. Great. Most people hate their job. Great. That ain't no damn money. That ain't no damn money. especially once you get taxed, that ain't no damn money. $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour. That ain't no damn money. And most people don't even make $30 an hour. They make less than 20. Most people. That ain't no damn money. You make just enough to pay your bills, pay your rent or whatever. That's it. And if you can't take care of your family with $20 an hour, if you got a wife and kids, let's be clear. Somebody got to come from somewhere. Either she gonna work or you gonna be doing something on the side. And that's okay. But don't be acting like you doing well. Now, there's a lot of people that come from these other countries. $20 an hour, that's a lot of money to them. That's cool. That's good for them. But in reality, you ain't really doing shit. And that sounds harsh. I know it doesn't sound good. But that's just the reality. You know, that's just the reality. You know, and if your grandfather was living, he would tell you the truth. He would say you ain't shit either. He would say you ain't shit either. He'd say you haven't done shit. You've been bullshitting for 10, 15 years. Only person you taking care of is yourself. And you haven't even done that well. That's what your grandfather would say. He wouldn't be. See, your parents, they'll be nice to you. You know, mom, she's nice. Oh, that's my baby boy. That's my son. They'll try to be nice to you. But even your mom know you ain't shit. You know why? Because your mom know she ain't raised you right. She know you lacking in some ways. Or maybe you had a dad that weren't shit. Who knows? It's not just a street life, it's the party life also. Some of us were some people who run themselves to the ground, not realizing the party was over years prior. Most people don't realize there's always a young buck coming up waiting to take the title. Sometimes it's best to be a mentor to somebody instead of running yourself ragged, trying to keep up. No doubt. Most women overseas calling for a home with the father at home. She taught family values and being a woman by her mother. A wild thing in Thailand. Thai is a tourist trap. Yeah, it's just all about, have a good time. Basically, I was about to say, Pin, what up, Mike? When was this? When you were a kid? I was in my early 20s when I started having a lot of these experiences. 20s and 30s. Man, I've been gone for a bit. The minute I arrived, you talking about grandpa, not going down on grandma. That made me spit out of my drink. Wait, some crime roll. You're an old soul, bro. Hi, Steve. What's up, Steve? Yeah, Steve, it's been a while, man. Yeah, stay up, bro. Hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. Yeah, man, that's true, man. Grandpa didn't go down on grandma. Nah, that's some new shit. Yeah, we picked up that shit from them white guys, man. Let me tell you something. When I was in my 80s, during the 80s, I was a teenager. No, I wasn't a teen. I was a little boy. I was like 10, 11, 9 in the 80s. And even in the 90s, I didn't hear nobody talking about going down on no girl. I didn't hear that type of shit in high school. I didn't hear that type of shit until I went to college. And a lot of dudes were saying, oh, that's nasty shit, bro. So yeah, this is new shit, man. Back in the days, men were into courting a lady. Dress sharp, haircut, face shaved, and a gentleman. On a day with a lady, now you have clown men looking for 50-50. Don't understand. Women had no respect for men. Yeah, I mean, all this 50-50 shit. What the fuck is, I don't understand that shit. I can't relate to that. Now, it's one thing if the guy can't pay everything, okay, I understand. You know, he's not able to do it, I get it. But for you to say, hey, yeah, I want to, let's just split everything and 50-50, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know, bro. I can't relate to that. You know? And then a lot of women are on some weird, degenerate shit today, too. And a lot of these women online, like I said, they hoes, man. You can't pay that shit no attention. You see, a lot of these guys think that the women talking online are respectable women. I don't even call them women. I call them females. There's a difference between a female and a woman. I hope I don't have to explain that. You know, I was making $36,000 a year, but realized that wasn't really much. Hell no. $70K, that wasn't enough then. Chicken feed now. Yep. Boy, every time I try to do that, I automatically go to my tackle. I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. But yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know how anybody makes it making $40,000 a year, $35,000 a year, $28,000 a year. I don't know how anybody make a living on that salary. You know, in these big cities, shit. I don't know. You might have some I guess you gotta have some damn roommates. Something. Cause that 35,000, 28,000, 40,000, that ain't enough in these big ass cities. New York, LA, Chicago, Miami. It's expensive as hell to live in these damn cities. Even in the smaller cities, it's still expensive. I don't know how people make a living. You know, I don't know. And they got one, and they not only they making the income they make, they're satisfied with the 35,000. They're not ambitious at all. You know, they're kind of happy. They're not open. They're not open to other means of income at all. And I know a lot of these guys. They'll come home, watch TV every day, wake up the next day, do the same shit. And they've been doing that since they graduated from college or high school. They're just complacent as ever, you know? And then they complaining, how I can't do this. I can't do that. Hey man, you all of us we have free choice. We have free choice, man. Regardless of the circumstances, we have free. Now, if you're in the hood, some of these damn neighborhoods are like war zones. You know, I kind of feel for you. I understand. Because if you're in the hood, bro, the hood fucks people up. Men and women. So if you're in the hood, if you're living in the hood, you're going to have to get up out of there. That environment is going to hold you back because there's too much negativity and too much violence. Now, you might not be in the violence, but you're looking at it. You're seeing it. At some point, you're going to see something where a 14-year-old shouldn't see nobody get killed. Broad daylight. That's not normal. That affects you. Anybody. But a 14-year-old can't process that versus an adult. Hell, some adults can't even process that. You know? I mean, I'm a teenager. I'm not even responsible for my own actions. And I'm looking at somebody that got shot in the street on the basketball court. I mean, how do I process that? I mean, how do you make sense of that? So the hood fucks kids up, man. You know, the hood fucks people up, man. I mean, you have the best of the best, they leave. And the worst and you have the worst. Most of them don't make it out. And the guys usually result to crime because it doesn't matter. Because there's no way out anyway. Because if I don't do something, nothing's gonna change. And the women usually result to some type of street shit, prostitution, or whatever she got to do to survive, basically. You know, she might go end up in the strip club or something, you know. So, and she's young. These people are young. They 16, 17, 18, sometimes younger than that. They living the life of adults in some cases. And these people are having kids while they're in that life. You know? So you have babies raising babies. And the next generation, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fail. They're going to fail because they don't have no guidance. Because the mom was a baby. So she can't teach the kids nothing. She don't know shit. And plus the neighborhood dictates same bullshit over and over like a hamster wheel. That's how that shit is. The hood fucks kids up, man. And even and they'll grow up that way. You might have a woman that's 30-something years old, got 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Every guy she dates, she's basically trying to use them, get something out of them. And I've met women that were like this, by the way. I've met women that had 2, 3 kids. And every guy she meets, she's trying to get something out of them. Now, you would say, well, leave that hoe alone. Well, I agree. Now, the reason why I was around the woman, even after I found out she had kids, she's easy. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. But she was easy. You shouldn't be fucking with her in the first place because you know she's trying to basically trap you. That's what she's trying to do. And the reason why she's trying to trap you, because she's already in a bad situation and from the get-go. And it ain't necessarily, in most cases, it ain't her fault. She was raised that way. The environment raised them, basically. She's in a bad situation, financial situation. She got 2, 3 kids. She can barely take care of them. She probably live in the projects or got some dead-end job where she barely making enough money to survive. So you have guys, some of these guys are predators. They'll take advantage of that woman. You know, they'll fuck her as long as they can fuck her, as long as she's willing to participate, as long as she's getting something out of it, and as long as he's getting something out of it. So a lot of these guys are predators, you know? But I chose to leave them women alone. I just chose to leave them alone, you know? I'm like, that's why I don't date women with kids. I don't even give her the time of the day now because I know better. They say if you know better, you do better. But I know better now, so I don't even date women with kids because I already know 9 times out of 10, she's struggling with them damn kids. I don't give a damn how much money she's making. It ain't enough money if you got 2, 3, 4 kids, a single parent. 9 times out of 10, she's tired, stressed. She ain't got enough money to take care of them damn kids with that job that she has. That's just a reality. Now, she might be able to pay all the bills, but it still ain't enough. Because she's stressed, don't have enough time to do whatever she needs to do. You know? Now, let me tell you what I have done. I've tried to, point some of these women in the right direction financially so they can take care of themselves better. I've tried to do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. A lot of times they don't listen. So you can't help everybody. That's just reality. But I learned a lot along the way, I'll tell you that much. Like in that world, you have the best of the best, the worst of the worst. Men and women. There's no in between. This is why you have these crooked cops. They're predators too. They prey on the women too. Well, the cop, they prey on anybody. They prey on the dope boys, prey on the women. It doesn't matter. They savages, man. A lot of these cops out in these neighborhoods, man. And that's why the neighborhood's like a war zone, man. You have the regular guys preying on the women, the cops preying on the women, the cops preying on the guys. It's just, that's why I say the hood fucks people up, man. It's the devil's playground. The strip club, the ghettos, devil's playground, man. Yeah. It's a trap. It's hard to get out of that trap. It's going to take, it usually takes anybody that grew up in them type of neighborhoods, it usually takes about 20 years for them to get up out of there and beat that. Even when they leave, mentally, they're still the same. It takes 20 years for them to beat that poverty trap. That's what I've been told by a lot of those guys and gals that have beat that poverty trap. That's from the hood. And even some of them, they still ain't right. They might live in Beverly Hills or wherever. They might have a high paying salary, high paying salary job or whatever. They might make a lot of money. They still get that poverty mentality. They might made $100 million. They still get that poverty mentality. Some people never break that shit. They pass it down to their kids. Some of these entertainers do that. You see them. They might have made $200-300 million over the past 20 years. They pass that same mentality down to their kids, and their kids be like, "Hey, you ain't giving no money," and their kids mad, put them on blast on the internet. You know what I'm talking about? That's the trap, man. They get that. You done made, I don't know, $200-300 million. You can't keep your kids off the damn drugs. You can't keep your kids off the drugs, man. Damn. I mean, the money's all. That's a failure. That's a loss. You can't keep your kids off the drugs, man. Damn. You used to sell drugs, and now your kid's using the drugs. Oh, that's a failure, man. I mean, it's all for nothing. You're better off just going back home. Shit. This shit happens, man. You can't live out here on your own with these prices, and they still trying to pay them $7.50 an hour. Yeah, I heard about it. It's the hood really does something to people. Yeah, it damages people. Yeah, but once they are out and they realize you're not from their type of background, they block you on everything. Well, yeah. It's sad, the life in the hood. Yeah. Especially in cities like New York, Miami, LA. Let me see. Some of the neighborhoods in LA, man, are so run down, they look like a fucking war zone, man. You know, it's crazy. I mean, how the fuck? People shouldn't live in these neighborhoods. It shouldn't be allowed to, but nobody gives a fuck. And only 2 of them are actual daddies. Yeah. Love you, Donna. Yeah, we love Donna. They have their own game plan when it comes to single mothers. Shit. Leave them single mothers alone. You know what the single mothers need to do? Single mothers need to go back to the father of them damn kids. They need to go back to the father of them kids and work that shit out. That's what the single mothers need to do. His whole family or just the kids, just narrow it down. Keep your child off the pole. No doubt about it. Yeah, we love Donna. You know? So I'm going to put the link in here, man. Anything you want to talk about, just come on. Otherwise, get off here. Come on down. Yeah, smash the like button. Share the video. And don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast, by the way. Oh, God. He really love Donna. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And people been telling me a lot lately. They love me lately. God, hey, man, you know what? I love the attention secretly, but I play it off. I play it off. I don't like a lot of attention. But when somebody expresses himself like that, saying, "Hey, I love you, bro." Like, oh shit, man. I love you too, man. God damn. Man or woman. man or woman. Inside it makes me feel good. It does. It's kind of a weird thing sometimes because people will catch me off guard sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, it's first time because they don't say it often. They don't say it often, but I know people go through things from time to time, so they'd be like, hey, I got to say what I got to say. I don't know, we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Hey,
Yo, what's going on, man?
I'm over here live from the trap, man. 10 years, 10 weeks in. When can I go home? Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Both of my dogs almost died. Shoot. I am trapped here. You don't know. I almost had to put one down. I was like, that was a sad moment.
How far are you from where you grew up at now? How far is that?
Well, it's 9 miles per here, but I live in my same hometown.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought you were like the next town over or some shit like that. That's why.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So what's the county that's in Baltimore?
Baltimore County, and there's Baltimore City County.
Okay.
And there's some interesting things that are different about them. It's like, okay, Baltimore City owns the water that everybody gets, but the lake is in Baltimore County. So Baltimore County pays less for water than Baltimore City. And I mean by an extreme amount.
Yeah, some of these towns are kind of set up weird like that.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah. That's kind of like I give you an example. Kind of like Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like Raleigh, people say Raleigh, Durham, right?
Right.
But there's two different towns.
Right.
And Raleigh, the city itself, is not really in Raleigh. Yeah, that's weird, man. And there's a college called Wake Forest. You heard of Wake Forest?
Yeah, I definitely.
Wake Forest is not in Wake Forest. The town of Wake Forest.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's weird, man.
Where's that?
It's enough. It's probably Wake Forest is probably about 15 minutes from Raleigh. It's weird how some of these towns are weird, man.
I mean, that hospital is doing great things, so yeah. But yeah, I didn't know it was that off. But then, what is it? What is it? University of Maryland is no. Everything around here is the same place. The only issue here is that I don't know if you've been to Baltimore, but
I never been.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 10 hospitals in a space of 30 miles. 30 miles.
Oh, so that's a hospital town. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some towns that's like that. The hospital bring in a lot of jobs. There's some towns like that.
Well, Johns Hopkins is one of the main ones that are here in University of Maryland.
Yeah.
So, and then there's Morgan State. Well, it used to be Morgan State. Now it's just Morgan. But they
and that's a college too, right?
Yeah. So being that way, they have all these colleges that do this and that. They have all these hospitals that do this and that. So how do I explain it? There's a college in almost every area. So, that's what I'm trying to say. Everything is all around there.
Yeah.
Now, you think that, all right, you're in a nice area, you're right out of DC. It's like a half hour to DC. And between that is some very nice places that, are expensive. And you got all the military complexes and CIA stuff and all that stuff that I could point it out to you. And we'd both be on on a milk carton somewhere. But anyway, but you think they have good jobs, right? No, 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 no. Most of these guys, mm-mm. And here's the funny thing. They're supposed to help you get them here. Like they closed Fort Monmouth and all these New York and New Jersey bases. And they promised that these young people get classes and go to school and get jobs there. Not one really has. They pulled everybody from New York and New Jersey. You weren't going to get that job. You could apply,
Yeah,
but you ain't getting it.
this yeah, a lot of there's a lot of schools that will say will guarantee you a job. What's going to be above what? How much it pay though? That's the catch.
Yeah, and Maryland was the one that backed that program. They'll help you
Yeah,
become a nurse or a CNA, GNA,
yeah.
or they'll help you.
A lot of schools are they kind of getting away from that now.
Right, right.
I think one of these schools got sued a couple years ago.
Phoenix,
Was it
and
Phoenix?
also Trump's thing as well.
Okay.
But Phoenix has been on an ever cycle of getting sued for that. I mean, everything. You know,
But
they talk
Trump
about
and Trump
helping.
got shut down.
Yeah, Trump University. Yeah, that's one of the things he's getting in trouble in New York for. I mean, here's the thing to me about that. The thing with Phoenix has been going on for years. I mean, back and forth, same issue every time. And then Trump comes up and tried to do the same thing.
Well, you
That is
can't.
that's the very image of insanity.
It's really hard. It's really hard to make a guarantee like that. They need to.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with that idea. That wasn't a good idea.
Nope.
I know they're trying to use that as kind of like to draw people in.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah, that's kind of risky.
Yeah.
You know, unless you have a strong relationship with some of these major companies in the area,
Right.
something like that. But you can't really depend on that even because a lot of these people change jobs every
Right.
so amount of years. These people aren't keeping these jobs for 5, 10, 15 years.
Right.
These people
Right.
change jobs what? 2
Every
to
2 to 5 years.
2 to
And if
5
you don't,
years.
yeah. And if you don't, they'll look at you like you did something wrong or something's wrong with you.
Yeah, so it's really hard to make a guarantee like that and be able to consistently uphold it.
Hmm.
You're just not going to be able. You got hundreds of people graduating. You can't manage. You can't manage all that.
Hundreds, sometimes thousands.
Yeah, you can't.
Morgan State has thousands. I've been to a couple of their graduations. They had to put it in several different buildings.
You can't manage all them damn people. Some of them people gonna get lost in the numbers.
Yep. And then they got to move back home. Oh, somewhere.
Yeah, now they start getting the damn student loan payment in the mail next month.
That's why I tell you, if you're going to go to college, either you better be doing real well and got connections, or you better hit that military. You better get that. What do you call it?
If I had to do it all over again,
Mm-hmm.
I would have went in the military right after high school. That's how I would have done it. And then I would have when I got out, I would have went to college. I would have went, but see, I would have went to MIT. That's where I really wanted to go.
Right.
But I just didn't know what I didn't know at the time. You know, I didn't know.
We didn't have computers. We didn't have none of that.
Yeah, and I didn't know anybody that went to Ivy League school at the time. I mean, I know they went to USC. USC ain't shit. Yeah.
I mean, to you, but up here it sounds good on paper.
Man, USC ain't shit. But I didn't know nobody that went to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Cambridge. I didn't know nobody went to them places. So, I mean, MIT, not even DeVry. I didn't know nobody went to none of them damn schools. And I
I
wanted to
mean,
go to one of those.
if you said MIT, yeah, and Wharton School of Business in Pennsylvania,
I didn't know
yeah,
nobody went to none of those. I mean,
yeah.
where I'm from, if you went to North Carolina,
Mhm.
USC, yeah, you were shit.
All right, let's see. What is it?
Duke.
Let's put it this way. You'd hit, what is it? Wharton for Business, because their business management is actually good. They actually do backgrounds on the history of business and how to look at business components. Because I'm like, one of them was just so dumb. I was like, I don't need you to tell me that, but you have to tell other people in business management, and all this other stuff that that's what they should do. And I'm sitting there like, really? Seriously, really? And then what is it? MIT is really good, but somebody else. Is
When
it
it comes to
something?
what
It's
tech stuff,
yeah. And
there's a bunch of them. But the
something in
reason why
Georgia.
Georgia, it could be DeVry, it could be
And then
uh
in California, the
Georgia State. What else? Georgia Tech. That's about it for Georgia.
and then what do you call it? Johns Hopkins is here. They
Yeah.
hit three different things. I think four.
Oh, y'all got
A
American
hospital.
University.
Yeah.
I heard it's our American University dope. I heard that's not true.
Dope for what?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know anything.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, Georgetown. Georgetown is good for lawyers, and
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
it
I'm
would be.
talking about. I wanted to get into the tech field. That was at the time.
It depends. Like, right, if you were looking for network stuff,
Yeah.
I would say Morgan State University, the black college.
Okay.
Don't even bother going to Johns Hopkins unless you're going to try to get your master's or whatever. You can dual masters from there just to get it rubber stamped on your paperwork. But
Yeah.
Morgan State, if you're going to do historically black college, if you're going to do microchips, you're going to do um, everything, ergonomics, all this other stuff, and satellite. That's what you're working with. Now, understand why. It's because of Johns Hopkins, which is no more than 2 to 4 miles away from them. And they're kind of in a partnership with the University of Maryland. And what Johns Hopkins is doing, of course, they got their medical program. They also have, what else is it? They got an engineering program, and that's good. But I think it's physics, and what else is it? I think they're more next level technical, but not complete. But if you're talking about, say, for instance, managing and developing services for operating electrical devices, like, say, for instance, a couple of things that they have is controlling the rover up on Mars, a couple of them, and I think they're controlling James Webb. So some of those people you see in the picture, in the videos of people, some of them are young people or in the background somewhere. They're working on it.
Okay.
So you get an experience on that. And at the end of the day, with those type of backgrounds, you can wind up working for SATCOM for the military. So, and then what was it? University of Maryland is something else. I keep forgetting. It's programming.
They got a lot of partying going on in damn school, I bet. Yeah. See, that's when I got out. I kind of wanted to get away from that party scene.
Mm-hmm.
Too many damn distractions. Because that's where I came from. I came from the Navy. I was partying everywhere. So I was like, I want to be focused. I ain't going to these damn schools to just party and get distracted by damn women. What the hell with that? I'm strictly business. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was thinking at the time.
Well, good thing you didn't come up here to Towson State. I heard that joint was party central.
I mean, most of these colleges are like that, man.
Yeah.
Because I used to visit a lot of these colleges. I knew people that went to a lot of these colleges. I used to visit on like weekdays and weekends. Shit, because I didn't have no, I ain't had no job at the time. I didn't work for like a year and a half when I got out. I didn't work for a year and a half.
Well,
I drew unemployment for like a year.
Towson has 2 colleges in it, Towson State and Gilman, whatever the hell that is. Anyway, long story short is we got this area that's kind of like a downtown area. It's no more than a block, maybe 2 blocks of it. And we live like directly a mile away from it, right? So you can hear these people almost any day or night down the street. Yelling, screaming, whatever. So they're partying, straight up party.
I think, man, a lot of people knew what their sons and daughters were doing at these colleges. They would stop paying the money.
Some of them are actually paying the money so they can go to school and do the things they used to.
Well, yeah, that's true too. You know,
maybe you'll find a doctor.
Get lucky. Yes, I don't know. I met a woman that was a doctor years ago. But she was bored. She was bored. She wasn't fun to be around at all. Very her personality was like, I had a hard time talking to her.
Right.
Very laid back, super laid back. She's and
didn't talk very much.
No. Right. I was like, this ain't gonna last long. I'm gonna just stop calling her. The inevitable is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's laid back, and then there's just waiting for you to take control of it.
Like all she did was just work. That's it. And she's always by herself all the time. I understand why you single. It's nothing about her that would make a man want to even stay around her. It's like, oof. Well,
a fish, basically.
Yeah, I'm like, geez. And I went to her house one time, and you can get a good idea of what somebody is, what type of person someone is if you go to their house. I was looking around, pictures on the wall. This is how she lived, period. And I was like,
you ain't never visited my place.
That's when I knew this is the last day I'm going to see you.
Wait a minute. I love you, Donna.
And she's she wasn't a bad woman. Wasn't a bad woman now. But she had she had no sex appeal. That's that's a big one. That's a big one for me.
Her personality?
There's some women that you can look at from a distance. She's a good looking girl. Yeah. Right. Yeah. If you meet them in person, you stay around them long enough, it's don't have the woman's energy. It's kind of like more like a man. You have more masculine energy than anything.
You think she's too into her job or whatever? That it's
yeah. The job is their daddy.
Right.
That's the man. The job is the man.
Yeah. Some women
These
take
women,
pride in that.
if they had to pick between the man and the job, they pick that job, bro.
Well,
Most of them today.
it's like nobody's telling you to not be employed. That's fine. That's fine.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
But
you
when we were
know,
growing up,
mhm,
your mom, my mom, if shit hit the fan,
mhm,
family first.
right, right,
Family first. They put the
first,
family first.
right.
Nothing came before the family as a woman.
Well,
Nothing came before the family.
here's
Unless you were some other type of shit. You want something else.
here's the thing. Now, when you say family, the woman is only thinking of her children and everything behind
She's
it,
not
and
even talking. She's not even. I don't know what they're thinking about.
they're
They
not
don't
even adding
even,
you.
bro. They don't
They
even
don't.
mention family, bro. In most
They don't
cases,
even. They don't even add you into the situation, into the
no.
nope.
You know what they say now? They say lifestyle.
Right, right,
They don't even
right.
mention. I just sit back and listen. I said, did you hear her say anything about a family?
Mm,
No. He's
mm,
talking about, I like to travel. I like
mm.
hanging with my friends. I'm like a social
All right,
butterfly. Uh,
that's
I, I,
wrong right
I,
there.
I focus on my career. I want to have a certain type of lifestyle. I'm like, what? She said nothing about a family.
So yeah. Do you want to break everything down so if somebody watches this video, why every line that said is wrong?
Yeah, because it don't
For,
work.
first of all, I I don't want to hear you're a social butterfly. What's the point? If you have to be a social butterfly around somebody, they were never meant to be
I'd
around
be
you in the
like,
first place.
I'd be like, I hear a lot of women say what they want to do or what they do,
Uh-huh.
but what are you trying to do when you doing this stuff?
Right.
Like, what do you like? You have a woman say, "Hey, I want to be sexually. I want to express my sexuality, and I want to be free." Like, that's not freedom.
No.
What do you when you done ran through a bunch of guys? What are you trying to do? I don't understand. What That's not freedom. Like
A bunch
sleeping
of
with a bunch of guys or a bunch of women, that's not freedom. What are you talking
mm,
about? That don't got nothing to do with no freedom.
and once you do that, it's
You
all
just
over.
did that and that's it. But
Right?
that ain't no goddamn freedom.
No. No.
Freedom requires sacrifice. That
Mm,
don't no sacrifice when you lay down with nobody. That ain't no sacrifice. That's just a good time in most
mm,
cases. So what I hear is you got a bunch of delusional people out here. They're
right.
kind of like they've taken certain aspects of their life that
Mm,
they've experienced and they justify their actions in some type of weird way.
mm. Even I do it. Even I do it.
Yeah,
Shoot. And it shouldn't be like that, but I definitely understand and I have to correct myself on that
yeah,
often. But as a man, I have to do that or I can't move on.
yeah.
But
But the difference
with
between a guy and a woman is
mm,
guys don't say that's freedom. Guys don't say that's freedom. They say, "Hell, I just had a good time. That's it." They're not
yeah,
looking for anything. They ain't trying to get no money from the
yeah,
woman.
no. Mm-mm.
Shit. 9 times out of 10, she ain't got that anyway. But I'm just saying. But guys don't equate that to freedom and
Right.
sexual. I want to express myself or whatever. That's no, and no one has to know about it. Women, they'll do a damn video and tell the world. Like, who cares?
They even telling their girls.
Yeah. tell the girl about the dude, and now in some cases, the friend, she wants some too.
But then here's the other thing. Most of the women they're hanging around with, they're not married.
They hoes.
I
Most
mean,
of
they
them.
don't even have to be hoes. They're single.
Yeah.
They're not on the same level.
No.
I mean, I'm like, you need to find you a married friend.
You don't see it that way. See,
Right.
when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me,
Mm-hmm.
what happens in your household should stay in your house. Don't be running your damn mouth, telling your friends and your family members what the hell going on with your man or your woman, because once you do that, the next time they see the person you with, they're gonna be looking at him or her funny style.
Right, right.
So that doesn't help anybody.
No.
They're looking at you like you an idiot too. You would the idiot. But today, almost no man, no woman, especially a woman, almost none of them has adopted that way of thinking. You know, but hey man, everybody can't be saved, bro.
No.
No.
And the doctor you're talking about has not been themselves. They're not being themselves. That's the problem. She hasn't had time to actually explore who she is. She'll tell you that, but she hasn't.
Yeah.
She has no idea, because she wouldn't even be with you if there were things that, she saw in you that was cool, and she'd be able to talk to you every 5 seconds about it.
Yeah. A lot of women usually get to a breaking point when they hit like 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And they'll start wilding out. Because it doesn't matter now. She old.
Right.
And these are the same women will say, well, I don't date this type of guy. I don't date black guys. I don't date thugs. Whatever. When they hit 40, it don't even matter. Who cares?
True, because they see them women at 50 or 60 with them, man.
Look, that's the easy.
Tell the mess up. If your whole life didn't go well before 50, trust me, the hill is down. It's all downhill from there.
Look, that's easy smash.
Men start disappearing. All sorts of stuff. I never understood that with my grandfather and my uncles and all this other stuff.
Yeah, see, I was saying earlier, Grandpa operated totally different from us.
Right.
Like, they didn't go down on a woman. What the hell going on, man?
Boy, every time I think about that, I think about going fishing.
Yeah. They ain't they ain't do none of this weird, degenerate shit we doing now. Even my uncles. My uncles as well. 80, they in the 80s. All of them.
Yeah.
Now, they might have done, I think they might have tried some of that shit. But they probably didn't like it. I think the majority of them, But Grandpa? Fuck no. Fuck no. As a matter of fact, if my grandpa could come back, he'd be smacking all of us around. You ought to be fucking up. Ah! What you doing, boy? That's the type. That's who I grew up around. My grandpa was like that.
Yeah.
Today they call that what? Toxic.
See, my grandfather was my mother's side was smooth as hell. I mean, you can't keep up.
There's someone like that too.
And then
until you cross.
but see, here's the thing. We're not talking about like he wasn't like the stylish thing and dapper and all that. I mean, he was dressed enough, like
Yeah,
almost to go into church
yeah,
sometimes to, but every woman down the block, up and down, every man in Baltimore, and I mean that somebody knew him, but
yeah,
he's so unassuming that you don't know he knows everybody. And that's the thing, you know. Um,
yeah,
he's he was a very good man. He people loved him.
yeah. I mean, the guys that got respect, you knew it. You could see it.
Hmm.
Even as
Yeah,
kids, you could see it.
yeah.
And
I mean,
women were
it got
very tactful.
right.
I give you an example. They used to there's women that used to always ask my mom, "You taking care of him?" They used to happen all the time.
Ah,
I didn't know what that meant until I got older.
mm, mm.
You know, so women are very tactful. They were yeah,
Then,
not today. Shit.
no.
These motherfuckers are
I
wild.
mean,
I mean,
it's
there's
not
some
a.
left. There's some left.
But even if you're not, here's the thing: there has to be a certain. It's been the main conversation with me and my ex here. There's a time and a place for everything. My mother
Yeah,
used to say that.
yeah,
My father would, and my grandparents, but my mother was on that, on that.
yeah,
She used to be big in the state for government stuff, and I mean, just on it. You know, that's
yeah.
very good. And I'm just like, you're over here acting like this when I need you to act like this. And you coming down on me with this when, like, I won't put them out there, but I mean, I am here. But they yelled at me. She yelled at me outside in a place and said I was weak.
Oh
And
yeah,
called me,
you told me about that.
yeah. That shit pissed me the fuck off.
Well,
I,
yeah, you gotta check stuff like that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
ended. It ended well. It ended well.
yeah,
But the thing that I'm mad at myself for is I almost had that dog put down. Shoot, I'm really pissed at myself.
yeah.
So, but yeah, um, what was it? Off topic. Dude, they sent tanks. They're sending tanks out there to Ukraine.
They sending who?
Tanks out to Ukraine. Did you see that?
No.
I'm like, they're saying that, oh, it'll take months for them to train all these people and then put it out in the field. Let me tell you something. That stuff is already out there. It's already been shipped. They already been trained. Zelensky came here back in June, maybe what is it, April. That's when you're making deals. That's when you sent people back to get trained. That stuff is already there.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
already got the
yeah,
equipment.
yeah, yeah. They always plan. They always plan ahead.
Hmm.
You know that. You know how that shit rolls.
As soon as you saw them go into that country, start the clock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
uh, well,
I'm
and there was
glad
something.
I'm glad I'm not in the military now these days.
Mm-mm, something's about to happen.
I wouldn't
You
want to be
saw that
involved.
balloon thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know
I
what
would.
that was about, right?
Yeah. I
What
wouldn't want
was
to
it
be
about?
involved. I wouldn't want to be involved in none of that shit. You know.
Yeah, but what do you think that was about?
I guess they want to see something. I don't know exactly. You know.
The purpose of it is that what they want to say is that it's flying over your airspace and you get to shoot it down. Well, you're flying your jets over Taiwan and it's our property, so we can shoot you down. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, what was weird is they apologized for it. Well, that's kind of I don't know.
I
It's kind of weird.
mean,
That's
I
kind of
mean, anybody could have said that. Let's be honest.
yeah.
Anybody could have said that. That could have been for something else. But the thing is, you let it keep going. You let it keep going. You could have told somebody, yeah, get rid of it. Go on. Why'd you let it keep going? The jet stream follows the same path as it always has. You know what it's going to do. So why would you just be like, well, act like you don't know nothing? You know what's up on that.
Well, yeah, I don't believe they're playing dumb. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know how. I don't really know how these people be thinking sometimes. But I'm glad I ain't in the military today. I wouldn't want to be a part of this shit.
No, not right now. You wouldn't want to be under 40.
No.
Shoot. We're scraping 49 right now.
I mean, this month.
What, this month for you?
Yeah.
Mine is next month. We only weeks apart.
This shit here. I'm like, oh God.
This
This is the worst.
for the birds. Huh?
The worst leadership I've ever seen in my life. God. Oof. All right, man. We're at the 2 hour mark. I'm about to get off here.
All right.
Peace. There you have it. Another episode. Don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast and the Patreon. I got a huge announcement coming up soon. Stay tuned. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like.